is attack people's resources. You want to make sure you get them to burn any minis they might have. This is great, right? A knock, even if this isn't converted, which they're probably going to. They've got a minigun, full pressure going off. But you want to attack people's resources, get them to burn mats, minis, rotationary tools, ammo if possible. So when they move into those later parts of the game, they don't have that available to them. Look who's alive and well in this game is Tfue and Cloak.
Out the sky here with that tactical ARs. Got a very tight crosshair on that weapon. It's got a super fast first shot accuracy, but it's one of the weapons that you don't necessarily need to depend on first shot accuracy. You can actually just spray down with it at longer ranges.
Check it out, man. A supply drop drops to the right. The question is, do they go for it or do they use it as a bait, right? You could just leave it out there and say, hey, anyone want to come pick this up? I mean, Protect there, unfortunately not protected enough. Just going to get traded out. It's going to fall down to the storm. Now, they have not looked over at the supply drops as possible. It's still there. You can see it on the mini-map. But, I mean, listen, you could find a potential rocket launcher in there. You could find some materials, some rotationary tools. So that's funny, man. Now they picked up a bunch of eliminations along the way. They were started double zeros, goose eggs across the board, and now they've racked up the 4. We just hit top 10.
Oh, my
Don't
gosh.
thirst. Top 5 is that next threshold, and this lobby is dwindling right now.
Yes, they are destroying these players right now as Tfue is putting down fire, or Cloak was putting down fire. Tfue's connecting up the tarp here, making sure that they're nice and safe and sound in the high ground. Tfue also has a rift to go, so they are not afraid at all to hold this positioning here. Nice combat takeout, so he can make the most, not depending on the bloom, but instead putting that combat to use, because this is good range to use the combat. You can get
waiting for people to make mistakes, isolating and capitalizing on these mistakes.
That's right. Cloak making sure there's one less person to worry about as he is working his way down. He leaves Tfue in the sky because Tfue has bandages and rifts, but they don't want to leave any eliminations on the board. Cloaksy closes out the deal right there.
I mean, these guys are going to start having to make their way to safety. I mean, look, you know me, man. I want to see some people hop in on the lava. I know it takes a point of health damage, but listen, it gets you moving, all right?
And it looks cool.
It does look cool. I mean, listen, you get style points, all right? Style points from my personal heart. Langic here and Genesis being aggressed on by Reverse 2K.
Oh, that was
Ninja.
A nice little grenade. He actually tucked it inside the build right there. So down goes Janik. Yeah, Ninja had some really, really nicely timed nades right there. Slipping them straight through the build. Here comes the edits. The offense is now put down. You talked about and Vinny with 7 eliminations. This is clearly an aggressive lobby. And clearly, obviously, they've gotten a lot of eliminations up until this point. So that's why they're able to make these type of free rotations, which you don't see very often, especially in these high-tier games. And notice, they're not staying behind in the zone here. They're getting way ahead of it to connect up. And they're now situated. Now that they're situated, in comes the shots towards Zayt. So Reverse and Ninja managed to land a couple of shots right there. Bumpa goes down to Zayt. So Slappy now is left alone here. Oh, he actually lands right on him. No trap comes out, so lucky for him, Zayt manages to skate on out.
Man, Bumpa is so tall that Zayt had enough time to line the shot up the body, up toward the head, because he's so tall.
Actually walk away with the high ground in this situation right here. And wait a second. We saw Vinny get knocked. He's back in the game, so he was actually recovered, and this is payback to Ninja and Reverse for downing Vinny earlier today. Reverse, you saw, under the effects of the Shadow Bombs, gets caught right there, and now the pressure is on from this duo here as they are looking to seal the deal right now. Reverse desperately trying to put back up some shots, but that's it. Zextra and Vinny actually win the engagement.
Wow. Like you said,
Reverse
man,
is gone.
Revenge, rather. Here in
Taking
Storm
a look
Circle
at Zill, he kind of prematurely used that, but another player just landed in front of him. I don't know what exactly went on there. I think that player came out of shadow as well. It almost happened simultaneously. Nice little edit right there as Zill's looking to pressure on through. The edit wasn't closed. Slappy makes a dangerous mistake right there by not closing the wall. Zill, unfortunately, only has one way to go. That's right into Reverse. Reverse takes quick care of him, as it was easily telegraphed that he was going to push right through. Now taking a look, Vinny, Zexro still have the high ground. Zayt and Saf are still in this game right here. That's a dangerous duo. No one is safe. This game is not won yet, even with the high ground, even with the materials. Shotang goes down. Nice knock right there. There are only 2 duos left in this game. 2 full duos, I should say. It's that and safe.
So let's take a look up top. Zexro, Vinny, they're just continuing this pressure, man. Enigma Fight gets picked up there in the crossfire. And now, okay, this could be devastating for any party involved. We see a rift to go, and they haven't started to look up. They're trying to land, and immediately one gets cracked. It's Zayt. Where is his dual partner? He does have the highest ground, and Vinny's trying to bring him down.
Yeah, so the play there was to attempt to try and draw Vinny and Zextro out of the high ground, but fortunately it was only one space. But Zap falls down. He does get the trade though, so that's going to be huge for him. Maybe it'll play a big effect here because Reverse is now left to take this 1v1. But Vinny wins the trade-off against Reverse 2K. The Storm actually gets the final tick there.
Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Again, observers, send love their way. They really do appreciate it. Blue pump's gonna be sent down there. Unfortunately, vaulted back to the lobby.
Vaulted back to the lobby.
You like that one?
Yeah, that was clever. That was
There you
clever.
go.
But don't forget, guys. These guys
are a moment.
Yeah, these guys are fighting for placement as well as the elimination. So you can see up in the left-hand corner, 14 duos remain. So that means they already earned placement points for 11 through 15.
Oftentimes you might see a duo kind of heading into that late game. Maybe they have no eliminations, maybe they have a handful. That's kind of when they come alive, exactly like you said, right? Because you're just waiting. You're waiting for players to make mistakes, like rotate late like this. These players have their backs to the Storm. They're just trying to get back into the zone. They're trying to get back to safety. And Cease and Elevate, they just immediately take advantage of that and say no.
And we got a little build battle here as Nut goes for high ground, actually catches Audio off guard. Got to get his audio checked real quick because he did not defend against that. Neither did he see it coming here as Nut puts himself in a very dominant position. Although the Storm line is on his back, he's putting down the pressure that needs to be placed here. Legendary AR is perfect for pushing through builds. It's actually one of the most versatile weapons in the game. It can be used at all ranges because of the damage and the accuracy that it has here. As Tfue and Nut are actually slightly split, but this allows them to put the pressure down, knocks the Fox Toes down, and this is exactly where they want to be right now as he is spamming away with the drum gun. What looked like a little L2 action right there, not sure.
Did you see his loadout? He has 2 slurps, half shields, minis. They are ready to survive this game. Look at this, a full stack of half shields, a full stack of minis, and 2 slurps.
Thought about contesting them right now. There has been a shot up until this point now. Finally, players are getting their wits together, right? And trying to get some pressure on them. But Tfue runs out of mats. These knocks, eventually, so you can get this material. If not, it's going to be a tough one here. So they're working together. They try to push through, but someone sneaks him from behind. Heretics P God comes in with the drum gun. Barely any ammunition and bursts down both of these guys. A nice little cone play right there by Heretics who keeps Cease actually off of the high ground, but Cease pushes straight through, challenges him. And it's Rampage who gets a knock on Elevate. So this is a close one as Heretics teammate Rampage clutches up. But P-God goes down to the likes of Cease. So it was a 1v1 trade-off. Now that's it. It's a 1v1 right here, Zeke.
This could go either way, Monster.
This could go either way. Right here. He's trying to get his health pool up so he can get an advantage and evade Rampage. Makes a super big mistake popping off that shadow. That means that Cease clearly knows that he cannot defend himself. He can't build anymore. Just like that, he throws a couple random shots down in that tight cone area. Wins that trade out. Cease with a huge...
Dope.
All right. For those of you guys at home, try playing in the replay client and flying through some of these structures. You can see how difficult it is.
It's very difficult. What's funny, what's even more difficult is the shots they do. I actually went back there and I had them do a shot for me. As I recorded it, it's going to be in the blog later on. Just take your lunch money, aka your placement points.
I was going to say, this looks like kind of like a normal duo, except it's not, right? 7 players remain, 4 duos.
Oh, you mean like
huge
a pub
zone?
game.
Yeah, it looks like a normal pub.
Oh no, Dubs! Whoa!
Catches the Elim as he falls right there. That health.
Dope. I've never seen this happen in a competitive lobby. A true 2v2v2 with a lot of play space. And it is so awesome.
Normally, it's one super dominant squad and just like kind of wraps things up. And yes, you can argue that Mega and Dubs are the dominant squad because they have the most eliminations right now, but it's still being drug on slowly but surely. And talking about diving on players, Nakash, that's another player that goes down. I spoke too soon.
Listen.
They alphaed up. Shadow bombs everywhere. Good grenades right there. He saw him go into the box.
Oh,
that's a love.
Two.
Mr. Shrimp, little man right there goes down. Here comes the thirst. Very nicely done. Looking up at the speed. You see Soba goes down. We saw Soba had no health, so Bon Raid picks up a good, nice one right there. Blasta catching a couple little elims right there. Bestivius goes down to reverse 2K using that range on the combat shotgun. Has good. Yeah, that's why they're using their mobility now and not later, because the zone is still so congested. You don't want to go on foot here. Blaza goes down. Blaza was on a rampage just a bit ago, but somehow found himself with no health right there. Ninja can actually hold this high ground as well, because he has the tools, the utility in the kit to do what he needs to. With that knock, Ninja now gets replenished on health as well, so he is back in the game. 190 effective total HP to work with. Fortnite World Cup. Clip any crazy moments, your favorite moments, maybe even some games from your favorite content creators to get them aired, share them on the medias. As Reverse here is blazing down, or these aggressive plays work out this way.
Oh no.
Ninja is taking too much damage right now though. This is a close one, Zeke. Underneath the build.
It's okay with the flank, but he gets caught immediately. Monster, he's gonna get dropped. But now Reverse, he's gotta make something happen. Look, he's on that, he's challenging for high ground tarp.
That's right, and Reverse manages to make it back to the high ground. I thought it wasn't going to be possible, but he lost all of his health lead. He does land some shots. That's going to give him a lot of confidence right now. As he pulls out the boom bow, all he needs to do is hit one good splash damage. That fall damage is going to give away the fact that he is down, though. He actually has no builds. I didn't realize. Let's see what he's going to do.
This is a tough spot. Look, Anorti, he goes out in the storm. He's trying to go for the play monster. Is it going to be enough? Reverse, this is your moment. This is your time to shine. Hit the shot, and he does.
Combat shotgun so perfect for 5 tiles away. It is the actual best weapon you can have right now, because you just click and hit, dude.
Click and hit, indeed. Sundown Bala, NA East is done. What do you guys have?
No, just barely out in 7th place. Just barely, almost the clutch of a lifetime, but Cease and Elevate, Landjock and Punisher, and Mega and Dubs are going to New York. As Zayt, Saf, Clicks, and Skeptic have already qualified Sundown.
Yeah, incredibly well played coming out from there. It felt like it was just a matter of time, really, for Cease and Elevate. Cease already qualifying through in the solos portion of the competition. One thing I do want to call out here on this 5th place. I know you dropped a tweet about it.
Oh my goodness.
What were their last 2 matches, Bala? Because they weren't anywhere on the radar all day.
1st place, 15. 1st place, 18 last 2 matches. They were at 35 points before those 2 matches, and then going all the way up to 88. That is ridiculous. That puts Funk Bomb and Nate's clutch from week 4 into a little bit of perspective. Mega and Dubs are just ridiculous in this whole thing, and Landjock and Punisher as well. I mean, we looked at their last game. They clutched up the last couple of matches there. I think the last 3.
They got 32 points in their last 3 matches, but let's actually take a look at Mega and Dubs' match history, because one thing, we've talked about it before, making sure that you maximize your efficiency going through there. First of all, as Bala says, that's 53 points in 2 matches, but not allowing yourself to get tilted. There's one thing, and there was a great analysis done on the competitive subreddit about timing when your placement versus when your aggressive games end up happening. And you can see here, these are all hyper aggro despite being eliminated early. 28th, you still get 3 elims. 44th, picking up an elim, that's kind of just maybe a wash game, but 30th, still 7 elims. 19th, still 6 elims. So those are big scores. 28, 6 elim. These are all aggro. And what that enables them to do in those lobbies you see at the end that end up being so sparse because people are trying to rush their last games, they don't have to rush. They play those out. Everyone else is taking reckless fights, and I mean, they're the kings of reckless fights, or what look like reckless fights, because they put everyone else to shame.
So we had EU, Benji, Fishy, Mr. Savage. Here we have Dubs and Mega. They're going to be the second people to double qualify in both solos and duos. So let's go ahead and punch their tickets, Sundown.
Yeah, let's get that first one there.
Boom. Cease and Elevate. Congratulations.
And then big shout out to the complexity pairing, Landjock and Punisher. Great clutch up there at the end, and we'll add the final pair.
Finally, Mega and Dubs.